looking at column, the two column of cash book, preparation of cash book, both two column and three column. And then you look at the cash book. When you're dealing with the cash book, it records cash transactions only, and the cash transaction, there are two types of transaction, which can either be an inflow, which you call it a receipt, or an outflow, which you call payment. You're either receiving or you're either paying. Inflow, which is a receipt; outflow, which is a payment. Inflows, these are debited in the cash book, because a cash book is a ledger which has got two types or two sides, the debit and the credit, and the outflow are credited. The outflows are credited. So when you look at the types of cash book that you can have, types of cash book, there are two types of cash book that we shall measure on the two column cash book. We are calling it two column. The name two column is because of the column for cash and the column for bank. Yeah, these two main columns. The column for cash, the column for bank. But it doesn't mean that it has only the two columns. We have the other columns for the date, the folio, the details, but the major columns are the cash and the bank. And the second one is the three column cash book. So the three column, this one has got the cash, it has got the bank, and it has got the discounts. And the discount, we have two types here. Is either discount allowed or discount received. These two. So discount allowed is we normally allow discount whenever we are receiving payment. When we receive payment. And therefore discount allowed will be on the debit side when we are receiving payment. Discount received is when we are making the payment. And it will be on the credit side. Yeah. So discount received on the credit when we are making payment. Discount received will be on the debit when we are receiving the payment. And the other thing that you should note under these, we normally have what we call the contra settlement or contra entry. This is a transaction. This is a transaction that affects both the debit and the credit side of the cash book. At the same time. So it will affect both the debit and the credit side of the cash book at the same time. That's what we're calling a contra entry. And examples of transaction that brings about the contra. The first one is we call it what? The drawings. Drawings, cash with the drawn. The drawn for office use. If we withdraw money from the bank for office use, it will have a contra entry because it will reduce. This one reduces. We normally credit the bank and we debit the cash. So it will affect both the bank and the cash at the same time. The cash will reduce, the bank will reduce, and the cash in hand will increase. And we shall see that in an example. That's why we are calling it the contra. And the second one is deposit. The deposit of money from the cash till. So if we deposit money from the cash till, again that one will affect, or it will have a double entry, because when we deposit money, the double entry, we shall credit cash, we shall debit bank. So this one means cash will increase and bank will reduce because we are depositing money from the cash till. The money that we had in hand, we take it to the bank. So the effect of that, the bank will increase and the cash will reduce. And again, the other thing you should note, still under the cash book, ideally the opening balance is supposed to be on number one, debit side if it's positive. It's supposed to be debit if it is positive, and number two, credit if it's negative. And when you talk about negative, this is bank overdraft. We talk about the bank overdraft. So for the overdraft, when it is negative, the opening balance will be on the credit side. But if it is positive, specifically for the cash, it should be on the debit side. But if it is negative for the bank, it should be on the credit side. And that's all under the cash book. Where you're supposed to know the types of transaction, whether it's an inflow or an outflow, the types of cash book, the 2 column and the 3 column. We're calling it 2 column because of the column for cash, the column for bank. We are calling it 3 column because of the column for cash, the bank, and the discount. Remember, when you talk about the discount, this is a reduction in price. Reduction in price. Reduction in price is what we are calling a discount, and it will be allowed to the customers whenever they are making the payment. So this one is allowed to customers. So when customers are making the payment, we shall reduce price on them. Discount received, these are allowed by creditors, allowed by suppliers. We just call them suppliers. The people that are selling goods to the farm, they are the ones that will reduce some price, the reduction in price to the farm. And that's why we are calling it the discount received. Therefore, to reduce the amount that you are supposed to pay. And ideally, each and every business is supposed to maintain a cash book so that they can be able to track their cash transaction on a daily basis, whether it's what they are receiving and what they are paying, so that they can know the cash position at the end of a day or the cash position at the end of a month. So look at that question that we have it there. And our question reads that on 1st August 2018, Eco traders had 22,000 in cash and 48,000 in the bank. During the month, the following transaction took place. 2018 August, date 3, we sold goods for 40,000 in cash, date 6, paid rent of 18,000 by check, date 10, we deposited that 5,000 of the cash in the bank account, date 15, we received a check of 16,000 from Daudi, date 18, the proprietor took 9,500 cash for personal use, and we paid Joe 11,000 in cash. We bought goods for 6,200 paying by check. So we're told to prepare 2-column cash book for the month of August. So our 2-column cash book. So this one is for Eco traders. 2-column cash book for the month of August 2018. Let's say the cash book is a ledger. Now let's start with the date. We have the details where we record the details of the transaction, the folio for recording the receipt number or if it's a contract, then the cash and the bank. And that is the center. This side on the left side, we call it the debit side. Then we start again with the date, the details, then the folio, then the cash, and then the bank. That is the format of a 2-column cash book. So this side, on the right side, we call it the credit. This one you say, ideally we record what? The payments. The payment. Yeah, credit side, the payment. Debit side, we record the receipts. the amount that we are receiving. So we need to ask ourselves, are we receiving or are we making a payment? And we are told we had an opening balance, that is on 1st August 2018. The balance, the short form balance brought down. B stroke D is brought down. This is brought down. Brought down. Brought down. And this one is the short form for balance. Balance. So balance brought down from the previous month. Where we had what? Cash of 22,000 and bank of what? 48,000. Then you are told date 3. We sold goods for 40,000 in cash. When you are selling, are we receiving or are we paying? Yeah. Are we receiving money or are we paying? We are receiving. Huh? So here, because we are receiving date 3/8, 2018 sales. Our details will be sales, and it was a cash of what? 40. Yeah, we recorded the column of cash. Date 6, we paid rent. 18,000 by checks. That's a payment. So here, date 6/8, 2018 rent. Check over 18,000. The column for bank. Date 10, we deposited that 5,000 of the cash into the bank. The one that I have explained about the contract. So we are depositing money. It means that the cash that we had will reduce. Reducing the cash, we shall credit the cash and increasing the bank. That's a contract entry where we shall start. That is on date 10/8/2018. So we deposited here. We shall write bank. We normally write the corresponding account. The money went to bank, that 5,000. We credit cash. And here I will write the C, meaning it's a contract. I will come here, date 10/2018. The corresponding account is bank. Not bank, but cash. Because they have written bank, so cash, contract of 18,000. So C, you have said is a contract. Contract entry. Contract entry. Yeah, where it affects both. So we are crediting the cash and we are debiting the bank. Date 15, we received a check of 16 from Naudi. Is it a receipt or a payment? We received a check. Already they are saying we received it. Yeah, so it's a receipt from Daudi. So it's not a payment, it is a receipt. That is on date 15/8/2018. So the detail is just write Daudi. We received a check of 16,000. So it's a check from Daudi. Date 18. The proprietor took what? 9,500 cash for personal use. So when you take money for personal use, we call it drawings. Here, drawings. For personal use, 9,500 cash. And there are two types of drawings. It's either drawings for personal, that's what we call it drawings, or for office. For office, the one that you have said it has a contract. If you are drawing money for office use, we credit bank and we debit the cash. But if it is for personal, you just credit the cash book. Date 22, we paid who? Joe. Yeah, here. Date 22/8/2018. So we have Joe. We paid him 11,000 in cash. 11,000. Then date 28. We bought goods worth 6,000 for 6,200 paid by check. We bought. So you're making a payment. Yeah, that one. When we buy goods, we call it purchases. Yeah, we open the purchases account, 6,200 by check. That way. And we are done. So you just need to balance, find how much we remained with at the end of the month. We normally balance cash with cash, bank with bank to get the total. So tell me the total for the cash. Since this side is bigger, this will be 62. This is 62. 22 and 40. 62,000. What about this three? That 5,000. You add 9,500 plus 11,000. It gives you what? 55? 500. Yeah, so we take the bigger side. So this side is bigger, 62,000. Get the balance. equaling the balance carried down. 62 minus what you have gotten? 62 minus 55, right? 500, you get a balance of what? 62,000 minus 55, 500. 6,500. It means that we received a total cash of 62,000. We made a payment of 55,500. The cash in hand that we're supposed to be having is what? 6,500, the balance. Yeah, to get our cash till and we look at our drawer, we should be having a cash of 6,500. We do the same for the bank, add the total on the debit. We'll give you a total 82,000, the credit, and you add this, the two of them, it will be 24. Is it 24,200? Yeah, so this side is bigger, again 82, when you minus from 82, 82,000 minus 24, minus 24,200, remaining with 57. Remaining with 57,800? Yes. So we are saying here, we have received what? 82,000. We have made payment of what? 18 and 62. These two are adding up to 24. It is 24,200, and we have what? 82,000. So we need to find the balance. So you take 82,000, we minus 24,200. On 1st July 2017, Baraka Traders had 47,900 cash and 155,800 in the bank account. The following transaction took place during the month. So you have July 1 up to 31st. Prepare 2-column cash book. So say for the 2-column cash book, it's a ledger account. This is Baraka Traders. 2-column cash book. 2-column. 2-column cash book. For the month of July 2017. So start with date, the details, folio, the cash, the bank. We divide this. So this side is the debit side, or where we are recording the receipts, the amount that we are receiving. Start again with date, details, folio, then cash, then bank. And this side you say is a credit, and we record the payment. So in our question, we have the opening balance of, said ordinarily, the opening balance will be on the debit side if it is positive. So you have the balance, wrote down. Cash we had what? 47, 900, and bank of 155, 800. Then on first we sold goods, 110, 200 in cash. Is it a receipt or a payment? Or we sell goods? Is it a receipt or a payment? What we sell? It is a receipt. We are receiving money. We sell, we are receiving money. So our details will be sales. 110, 200. But we said we are receiving cash. Date 4, already they have told us we did what? We paid 4/7, 2017. So we paid for rates. Rates 2,000 in cash. Paid for rates 2,000 in cash. Date 7 again we paid for electricity. Date 7 electricity. Paid for electricity 2,000 in cash. Not 8,000 by check. 8,000 by check. Then date 9 we received a check of 62. So that's a receipt. Date 9 we received from money agencies. So money agencies We received a check of 62,000. So we record in the column for bank 62,000. Then day 13, we purchase goods 53,400 and paid by check. So it's a payment because we paid. Day 13, 2017. So purchases. We had purchases and we paid by check 53,400. Okay. Day 25th, we paid again who? Saulo wholesalers. Those are payment on the 25th, 7th, 2017. So Saulo wholesalers. Paid Saulo wholesalers 7,800 by check. 7,800 by check. Day 20, we paid for printing again. 28, 7. We paid for printing. Printing of what? 17,500 in cash. The last one is that first we bought an equipment worth what? 35. So when we buy, we pay. So here, equipment. We bought an equipment worth 35,000 by check. That's it. Again, we are done. So take your calculator, we balance it off. Balance it off. Determine. So get the total for the cash. So when you add that total, 158, 100. I think this side is bigger. These two will be 19,500. When you minus 17,500 plus 2,000. So it is 19. 19,500. When you minus from this, minus from 158 to 100, you get a balance of what? 138. 600. That we received a total cash of 158, we paid 19,500. So in the hand we have what? 138, 600. Get the total for the bank? 155,800 plus 62,000. These two, 155,800 plus 62,000. You get to what? 217,800 as your total. So when you add this, the credit, the payment, 8,000, 53,400, 71,800, and 5,000. You get a value of that total 168 to 100, 168 to 100. But we received what? 217,800. When you minus 217,800 minus 168 to 100, it remains with a balance of 49,600. 49, huh? 49,600. That is our two-column cash, the way you're supposed to prepare. The key thing, just know the debit, you are recording the receipts, the credit, you are recording the payments, and you observe if there is any contra. Like in this question, we did not have a contra, like the first question, that we had a contra entry. So you just observe that. And again, you balance cash with cash. The bigger side is the one that you sum it up so that you find the difference, which will be the cash at hand at the end, and the cash in the bank at the end of the month. So, like that.